Hello guys, welcome to Field Skills. Today is installment 4 in our Gear and Kit series where we talk about our cook kit. Now, as just a bit of a reminder, we're following the Field Skills 10 C's of survivability, or sustainability is really what we'll be talking about today. And just as a quick run through and reminder, our 5 C's are the cutting tool that we should have with us, combustion device, cover element, container, and cordage are our first 5 items that each of us should have when we go into the woods with us. But where my take is a little different on the 10 C's are my second 5 items, which aren't items at all, they are kits. And we talked about our care kit, which covers all of the items in the Pathfinder 10 C's of survivability. But it carries a lot of other items that we generally would like to have with us when we go into the woods. But we talked about the care kit. We talked about our combustion kit there today. And last week we talked about the, what did we talk about last week? Catch kit, I'm sorry. We talked about the catch kit, which is the 8th item of our 10 C's. And today we're talking about the cook kit. And when we get to kit 8 and 9, our cook kit, and 9 and 10, our cook comfort kit, what we're really talking about is sustainability in the woods. When we find ourselves in a survival situation, we can survive with just the 5 C's. You throw in a care kit, our combustion kit, our catch kit, we can make it easily enough. But when we talk about 7, the catch kit, the cook kit we're talking about today, and the comfort kit, that is things that are going to help us in a sustained manner when we're in the woods, longer than the 72-hour scenario. So let's talk about the cook kit. And what do we begin with? Well, I think we need to talk about the cookware we're going to carry with us. And there are a lot of options out there, and each one works differently, and you find what works for you out there. Of course, we need to remember that our container with the nesting cup, if we have it as part of our 5 C's, is a cook kit in and of itself. We can boil, cook, stew in the cup with boiled water. And we'll talk about some things that good just boiled water will help us for food sustenance that we need in the woods. But we always need to remember that our container element becomes a cook kit for us in there. But what are some others? Some of mine I've enjoyed using and used a good bit over the time is this little mess kit, I guess you would call it. It's stainless steel, has the top. Stainless steel top that can be used for a plate or with a multi-tool, additional fry pan. This one comes with a little pot / Dutch oven's what I call it, to be able to cook pancakes, bread, biscuits in, put it into a good bed of coals, sprinkle some coals on the top, and use it as a little Dutch oven, and of course the frying pan that comes with it to fry food. Really nice when you're fishing and want to fillet some fish and fry them up. If you've got a little oil or grease of some type with you, can become a very good little set of cookware, mess kit, if you will, when we go. So maybe you prefer using something like that. I like this little bush pot. I don't use it so much for stews as I bake bread in it, biscuits. I'm going to show you one of my desserts. I like the sweet tooth comes out in me when I'm out, and to be able to use it as a Dutch oven coals on the bottom, coals on the top, and cook something sweet as a dessert. But comes in real handy as a cook kit. We talk about just boiling water and various things. A lot of hikers use something like Jetboil or a Whisper Light, MSR Whisper Light, a little fuel stove that comes with it. This one has you can boil water to make any type of things. Then it comes with also with the thing that'll set in there, and you can use it as your to fry on, cook something. A bigger pot will set in there, so comes in very handy cooking through that. But a lot of the hikers, folks hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, the Appalachian Trail, will use something like the Jetboil, and becomes your cook kit. Of course, you can carry a lot of supplies in there. Here's a couple new things I picked up. Haven't tried them yet. This is the MSR Seagull. I think this is about a 1 liter, maybe a 3/4 liter pot. You can fry in it, boil in it, stew in it. Nice stainless steel cook kit. Comes in, can work well. And then I also picked up, this is the MSR 2 liter Seagull set. Has the pan or the top that can be used as a frying pan, an extra pan inside. Comes with the little handle, becomes a frying pan, becomes a stew pot, a heating pot, a top. Very multi-use through there. So this, I think, would be something more that would be used if you were going into a sustained situation and going to and had some means of getting in there. Maybe you're going back in the woods and your vehicle's closed. Maybe you're going into a camp, setting up a camp somewhere, and you're on a 4-wheeler. You can carry a little more gear and kit with you that way, so you might use that and be able to cook for multiple people than just an individual type cook kit. Another little cooking device I like to throw in, I found this at one of the dollar type stores, was a little Teflon coated fry pan, a little bitty small thing. I thought, well, that's neat. And what I've used this several times for is mixing up some batter and making like a pancake in it, using some Bisquick mix and or something like Bannock mix, and just fry it up in there. Make some bread, a carbohydrate, when you're out in there, and works very well for that. But doesn't really take up a whole lot of room in your pack. You can carry it along if you like. But you know what you're going to do is get out there, and when you're MacGyvering, scavenging, and you see little things, maybe you pick them up. This probably wasn't a buck. It's been a long time ago that I got it, but just, you know, less than $5 anyway. It was something I thought, well, I'll give that a try, and did. So you got your cookware, and you got to select what works best for you. A lot of folks are pushing now the bush pots, about twice the size of this, same diameter, a little taller, to do the various cooking in camp. With that, we'll do it. But what we need to remember with whatever type of cookware, cook kit, mess kit that you select, is to remember that it is a container for items. So when you set anything up, things are going inside to help you with your food, with your sustenance. In just a minute, we're going to talk about those type of things we can add to our cook kit to make it better. Things that also need to go along and be considered as your cookware, as some type of eating implement. Of course, we can go out and carve a spoon, cut a twig, a forked twig, and make a fork. Will work just fine. This is a titanium spork. works very well. Spoon and fork in it, actually a little cutting side there. I've got this these are Sea to Summit puts out an alloy anodized little spoon, fork, and knife kit to take with you. So those type items can be something that goes in with your cook kit through that. A couple things I like to carry with me in it is take a little sponge. This is just a sponge you probably have under your kitchen sink. Has a little scouring pad on this side and the regular sponge there. I cut it in half, or about a third of it, and to clean. Keep my pots and pans clean when I've cooked and they're dirty. Take them to the creek, to your water source. A little soap you may carry with you, and comes in real handy for cleaning. This is a car wash towel that it's about at least twice as big as this. I cut it in half, or about a third, that I can fold up in there and stick in my kit to dry dishes, dry various things. Use it for personal hygiene if I need to, but really absorbs water and works well for that. So along with your cook kit is some way to maintain it, keep them clean for your cooking. Of course, it's always good to throw a big lighter in there, having a way to get your fire when you need to cook. You should have a combustion device, and Bix get thrown in nearly everything I do, so why not into the cook kit? So all of these items are different. They work differently for what you intend to cook, what you anticipate you might be cooking out there. A fry pan when you're fishing may work well, but in the winter when you may be planning to kill a squirrel, a rabbit, something like that, you need something you want to boil that meat in and make some type of stew type situation. So maybe you want more of a stew pot, bush pot type thing through that. So you think about it and put together and develop and find what works best for you, and that involves getting out in the woods and a little dirt time out there and practice cooking with that. So cookware is essential to our cook kit, and you select what you need and experiment and practice with them till you determine, hey, I really like carrying this for my cookware when I'm in the woods. But next we're going to talk about those items that we want to put in here, that when this becomes a container, and the items that are going to help us in our cooking, in our food preparation, and in our food taste. There is no reason that when we go to the woods that food has to be dull and bland. It's going in with the right ingredients in our kit to make food good, to enjoy our eating when we're in the woods. So give me a second. I'm going to reset the table, and we'll be right back with the items that go in our cooking. Okay, guys, we're back, and let's talk about things that are going to make our food better when we're in the woods. If we're talking about our cook kit, and we've got to have cookware, as we've just talked about, but what do we take with us to make our cooking better? We all like good food, so what type things do it? Well, spices are a key ingredient to start with. Of course, I've mentioned to you these little makeup canister things, but what are they used for? Salt and pepper. Easy to carry with you, to flavor, to spice up your food. It's just basic salt and pepper. And of course, you can find camping spice kits at various places, or you can create your own. Another one I like to carry, and I put it in the green container, is some Italian seasoning that I cook with a lot. It contains marjoram, thyme, rosemary, savory, sage, oregano, and basil. Real good with fish. I like it on that. Give it that little bit, those Italian spices through that. So I can put a little of that in to sprinkle on, say, fish that I'm cooking. Of course, a lot of people like a little spice, a little kick to it. So you can take some type of red pepper, some type of spiciness to it. A lot of people use Old Bay. It's good with a lot of things. My personal favorite is Tony Chachere's Creole Seasoning. It says here it's great on everything, and I believe it. Gives you a good kick and spice to the food. What does it contain? Where was that thing? Yeah. Salt, red pepper, black pepper, chili powder, chili peppers, salt, garlic powder, garlic through that. So a lot of flavorings in there. With whatever you're cooking, you can add a little spice. Old Bay or that. Maybe you like crushed red pepper flakes, or maybe just some pure cayenne pepper works for you. Cayenne pepper is also a medicinal spice. Can be used for bleeding, to help stop bleeding, and other uses. So maybe you just carry some cayenne pepper. But put together your spice kit, what you like to cook with, and make your food taste better through that spicing. So you got all kinds of spices, and you may have spices that you like to cook with, to use with deer meat or squirrel or something. But get out there and practice it, and some of that practice may be in the kitchen. Take some of that at night and get in there and say, honey, I'm cooking dinner for you tonight, and we're going to do something different, and cook up some fish and try some different things like you were on the stove, but do it, practice it just like you were doing it over an open fire. And see how it turns out and what spices work for you. So spices are a key thing that can go into our cook kit, the container part that we carry with us. And it's not going to take up a lot of space, a lot of room to do that. What else? Liquids. Key thing I like to carry is olive oil with me. A little bob. This is in a container with a little squirt bottle, so I can add it if I'm frying fish. Are going to fry up some deer tenderloin. We kill one, we slice some up in it. A little olive oil will work. My wife has got us on a health kick through that, using coconut oil at home. This is a little sweeter. If you're going to, maybe you carry some of this with it to line your baking pan, your Dutch oven when you're cooking. But you can carry some type of oil. It may be Crisco, it may be peanut oil. But take you a little scavenged bottle somewhere and fill it up with what you like to cook with and use, and what you're consistent with. You can also take a little vinegar with you in a small bottle. What would you need vinegar for? Well, I like a vinaigrette dressing. Oil and vinegar I'll put on a lot. Maybe it's early spring and the dandelions are out, and wood sorrel and clover is out there, and you make a salad as part of your meal eating. A little olive oil, a little vinegar, and you've made a salad dressing. Salt and pepper, maybe even some Italian seasoning, and it's made you a salad if that's what you like. So oils are big there. Maybe some vinegars, like we said. Sweeteners can go. Of course, you can take sugar, brown sugar, unrefined sugar, regular white sugar. You can take a small bottle and put pure honey in it for a sweetener. Can go on, maybe you make some bread or some bannock or something like that in the woods. A little honey tastes real nice on that. Doesn't take a lot to sweeten it. Put in your coffee, your tea, whatever you may be drinking through there. But carrying a little honey may be something that you like to do. Another item is peanut butter. Good old Jif. Jif jars are generally too big, so I take a found just another small plastic jar, same red top there, and just put peanut butter in it. That's 3 or 4 days worth of something. If you nothing else, just taking your spork or your spoon or a stick, getting a glob and licking, and eating it fresh gives you high in proteins and all from peanut butter. So good thing to take. Can also be used as bait for your traps and snares if you're out there. So taking things with you in small quantities. You don't carry the big things. You put them in small things that'll fit into your cook kit, your cookware, and that you can carry along to help spice it up, because there's no need to, as I said earlier, to eat bland, boring food out there. Learn to make your food good, and then learn to enjoy cooking in the woods through that. So with that, these are keys, I think, is pick the spices, the ingredients, the oils and flavorings you like to go with you into the woods when you go in there and go into your cook kit. Let me change this out, and we're going to talk about some of the foods we can carry with us in our cook kit or as part of our cook kit to eat and sustain, and very easy to prepare in the woods, and just give you some ideas there. We'll be right back. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about just some types of food you can carry with you into the woods. But before we do, I meant to mention this in the previous segment of this, talking about spices. Remember our MacGyver scavenging when we're at Burger King, at your local fast food restaurants or shops getting things? These can go a long way in your cook kit. Mustard, ketchup packets, if you like ketchup on things. Easy to throw in, to collect. I told you that I like to eat sausage and biscuits from Burger King in the morning. They always ask me when I pull up to the window, you know, jelly, strawberry or grape. I get strawberry one day, grape the next to go with it. Maybe I'm going to make some type of bread. Little jelly on it goes a long way. Packets of sugar can work in for your coffee, for your tea, for sweetening up some bread or things. My Japanese place, I get little packets of soy sauce. Great thing to take along with you for fish, cooking, anything really, if you like soy sauce and want that on through that. So these can become spices and flavorings, if you will, to help make your food more enjoyable when you're in the woods. And remember, I mentioned that I just keep a Ziploc bag in my truck, and when I pull through, I just drop all these things in, and you know, over time they may get old, but I'm constantly getting new ones and picking things up and add it to my MacGyvered, my scavenged things, and it goes into part of the cook kit. So let's talk about some meals. And let's begin with breakfast. Maybe you spent the night in the woods overnight. What can you carry with you that's easy to cook, easy to make, so that you can get a good, nutritious breakfast? Well, one of the things when I'm hiking especially and going on a weekend or maybe a little longer hike is I package my meals in Ziploc bags. And the reason I do that is because I can put a breakfast, or this is what I want to start the morning off, so it's in a Ziploc bag. I can grab it. I really like these. This is 3 cheese grits. And what's really nice about them, you can take the grits, open them up, pour them into your Ziploc bag, use your, if this is all you got, or boil you some water for your coffee. Hot water goes in, pour a little into the bag, mix it, seal it up, and let it set for a few minutes, and you've got some good tasting grits there. You can do oatmeal the same. This is a maple and brown sugar oatmeal packet. Put them in your Ziploc bag, hot water in there, let it set a few minutes, it set. Makes a good, hot, stick to your ribs kind of breakfast through there. Of course, I talked about Folgers singles. I also will carry, especially in my field sack, some Taster's Choice instant type coffee. But you can get these Folgers singles. Pour the hot water into your cup. Here, when you boiled your water, into your cup, a single in there, you got a fresh, hot cup of coffee. You can put sweeteners in, sugar from our scavenge pack, or Sweet and Low, whatever you use. I drink my coffee black, but one of the other things I have in there is tea. This is some green tea. I like a little sweetener in my green tea. So maybe I carry some sugar, a little Sweet and Low there to make a cup of tea during the day. But I put all this in because I may not drink the green tea now, but it goes into my pack or somewhere close where during the day, if I decide I want something warm to drink, maybe it's a cool, cold day, I've got that pulled out. I also put in there in my morning baggie here, not only my breakfast stuff, but some drink. These are the singles: iced tea, lemon iced tea, peach mango there, lemonade, through that to flavor my water that I've boiled, purified, some way disinfected my drinking water, and I want it to taste a little better or have some kind of sweet drink. Put some singles in there. Work great, take up no space, and easy to put into your pack. So there's a lot of options like that, but a lot of this is just simply boil water. No real cooking required. Get your hot water for your coffee or your tea. Make you some grits, some oatmeal, and you've got a good, nutritious, nourishing hot breakfast in the morning. So works really good through that, and you can mix and match those up that you have. Let's talk about other meals of the day. Get this out of the way here. Bread is one of those things I love, bread. And you can fix up your own, but these are all Just Add Water packets. Buttermilk, cornbread, and muffin mix. Take it with you. You want to make with your Dutch oven some bread, or maybe you just want to fry up, I think they call them Johnny cake type thing. Make you some cornbread mix up, tear it off, put your water in, mix it up, pour it in your pan, or however you're going to cook it, your Dutch oven, your pan, and fry it up. You can make cornbread out of that. Real light and easy, and you could make through this using a Ziploc bag. You could probably make 2 or 3 helpings out of that if it's just for you through that. But cornbread, Bisquick, bannock can be made out of this, pancakes, biscuits in the morning if you've got the Dutch oven type thing. But cooking bread may even use to flout to bread fish if you want to do a little frying of fish through that. But Bisquick's a nice all-purpose. All you got to do is add water to it, mix it up, and you've got some type of bread. You can also add, if you carry a little sugar, brown sugar with you in there to sweeten it, make a sweeter cake. One of the things I like to do, especially at night for supper, around the campfire, is this: just add water to this Betty Crocker chocolate chip muffin mix. Add a half a cup of water in here, pour it in. You can fry it, you can bake it in a Dutch oven situation. Something sweet dessert for you at night. And this again could also be a thing you could make 2 or 3 nights out of one package of this, or even more, mainly through that. But bread can be done, and all of these are just add water in there. Other cooking things that are simple: minute rice. This is brown minute rice, or you could use some beef flavored ramen noodles. What is it? It's all add water type things with it. Maybe you cook this up to go along with a squirrel you killed. a rabbit that you're frying or boiling, or add this to some boiling, make you a stew type thing, a soup out of it with some minute rice in there. And I got to give Jamie Burley on one of his videos, he talked about this, and it was a neat idea, and I did it to try it, is beef jerky. Maybe you got some deer jerky, you make your own. But I put it into a food processor, grind it up into a fine powder, and when you're heating up the beef flavored ramen noodles, you can add some of this in. When the water hits it, it reconstitutes a little bit and gives you some actual beef and protein in there as you eat, and not just the flavoring, so you can add it. But these are all easy foods to carry along. Now, you may not carry the brown whole box of brown rice, but again, a baggie. You create your meals. If you're going into a sustained situation or you're planning to be there, prepare your meals. It makes a nourishing, good, tasty meal at night and doesn't require a lot through that. So those are type foods you can do. You can get these packaged tuna in these small packages. Mix it with some Oriental flavored ramen noodles. Makes a good, quick, nightly meal. Again, heat water, put it in your Ziploc bag. Maybe you put these 2 items in a Ziploc and with at night. You've got a Ziploc bag already prepared for a meal one night. You say, I'm going to have a cup of tea with that maybe. Maybe some, where was that? Here's some natural lemon iced tea I'm going to have with it. Put your spices, everything in that. You've got your nightly meal in a small bag that goes in with you there, and it's prepped. Pull your baggie out, you're ready to eat, ready to prepare your meal in a simple way. Again, ramen noodles, college kids live on these things. This is chicken flavored ramen noodles, and you can get the packages of premium chicken breast here. Go in there, pour it in the bag, the hot water, let it set. It's going to make you a meal with actual protein in it. So a lot of ways to cook easily and carry quick meals into the woods as part of your cook kit. Of course, the key then is if you have used your catch kit that we talked about last week, and you've secured protein, you secured food, fish, maybe you snared something, you've found some frogs, maybe it's even snake meat, whatever it might be, a coon, a possum, through that to use it, you can cook with the cookware that you've got, the spices you take with you, and make an enjoyable, good tasting meal in the woods. And what that involves is you becoming a literal woodsman, Emeril Lagasse, if you will, and practice cooking these items in a controlled environment and see what works for you, what spices work with squirrel as opposed to rabbit or something like that. What do I want to put on that fish that I caught where it's not just a baked fish? I want a little flavor, more flavor to it to do that. So what you do is develop these ideas, and maybe some of these have spurred some ideas on. This is one of my favorites, quick and easy to do out there, is to make something sweet. To carry along biscuits, cornbread, meal, breakfast, food, and then you're prepared to stay, to be sustained while you're in the woods or on that long camp hunting trip that you're going on. So a lot of things, one of the things I suggest is go to the grocery store sometime and just walk the aisles, up and down the aisles, and find things that could make good meals and that you can experiment with, practice with, to develop your cooking skills in the woods. Next week, I think we're going to talk about the 10th item in our 10 C's of survivability, and may talk about the our comfort kit next week, and then after that, I think I'm going to move towards doing some actual cooking, and we'll do some demonstrations and some application of using these things and other things to cook in the woods, to use this cook kit when we set up camp in the woods. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, life is a journey, it's not a destination. So I hope you'll join me next week as we journey to self-reliance in the great outdoors. My name is David Fields. This is Field Skills. I ask you to like it, this video, to share it, to join, subscribe to my channel, comment if you will. Let me know what you think. But I hope you enjoyed and got some kind of idea from today's video. And I've sure enjoyed doing it. It's a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Field Skills. See you then.